Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore. And for the first topic, we're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They went at it in game one yesterday of the Western Conference Finals. And to recap it a little bit, the Dallas Mavericks won behind Kyrie Irving giving you 30 points, Luka Doncic giving you 33. Mavs supporting cast came through. PJ Washington 13 points. Derrick Jones Jr. didn't have a great game, but he played pretty decent for himself. Daniel Gafford, he almost had a double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Derek Lively, once again, comes off the bench, giving good production, had 11 rebounds, 9 points. So they're getting good production from their bigs. And I'm noticing from Jason Kidd that he's running like a 7-man rotation. He's not no 8-man rotation. Usually like a 7-man, like Tim Hardaway Jr. He's really not getting a lot of minutes. He only played 10 minutes. Josh Green played 13. So he's not really running a big ton of rotation minutes, and that's perfectly fine. The Mavericks, they didn't shoot from three really good, honestly, but Kyrie and Luka was able to get into the paint at will. Surprisingly, when you have Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, and Karl Anthony Towns, but they was able to get to the rim. Another thing, Kyrie Irving in this game, he started out hot. I was talking about it in the last series, how he in the first half he doesn't start aggressive. But in game one, he started aggressive. He had 24 points at halftime, and I was like, okay, Kyrie Irving is starting out good. But in the second half, he kind of slowed it down a little bit, and I feel like that's just how it is in the NBA. You start out hot, then you finish cold. Start out cold, finish hot. That's just how it is. Luka Doncic, he came alive in that fourth quarter. He dropped like 17 points in that fourth quarter against the Timberwolves defense. It was really a good game, but this is what happens when you have two of the best scorers in the league on the same team. Any one of them could go out there and give you buckets. So on the Mavs side, I think they played pretty good. Could they have shot three better? Yeah. Should they have shot from the field better? They actually shot 49%. So that's really good if we're being honest. And they out rebounded the Timberwolves. You have 2 7-footers and you're out rebounding them. That's kind of weird, but good for the Mavericks. Now the Timberwolves side, I feel like Jaden McDaniels started out really good. And I've always said that if you could just get this offensive production that Jaden McDaniels has been giving the Timberwolves in the last couple of games, they can win, because we know what Jaden McDaniels is going to do. He's going to play really good defense, but it's like his offense, what are you going to get from him? And in the last couple of games, he has been giving you really good offense. Cat didn't have a usual Karl Anthony Towns game. He only gave you 16 points, 7 rebounds. I think you got to play better than that. Gobert, he played decent, but obviously you're the Defensive Player of the Year. You have to play better. You have to rim protect. You got to block shots, even deflect shots. You got to do all of that, man. Like, you're the Defensive Player of the Year. And Ant-Man, he has to play better. I'm not going to lie. You go 8 for 16 for 19 points. That's not good. And you are the best player. They're counting on you. I noticed that when Anthony Edwards was driving to the hole, that they kind of clogged the lane up so he wouldn't have a free easy layup. Like, they made him pass it. They're basically saying you're either going to pass somebody else or you're going to have to shoot. Now, Anthony Edwards is he's a decent shooter. But I'll take my chances with him shooting than him just going to the lane at will. And that's what the Mavericks did. And they shot and they shot way more threes than them, but they still lost. So I don't know what they can do next. Like you shot 18 3-pointers, you shot 36% from the three, you shot 42% from the field, and the game was close. You only lost by 3. So basically, if Anthony Edwards gives you an Anthony Edwards game, he's averaging like 28 points this postseason. In a Karl-Anthony Towns game, he's averaging like the low 20s. They win this game. But obviously, the two stars, you got Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards versus Kyrie and Luka Doncic. The Dallas Mavericks stars came to play, and the stars on the Timberwolves did not come to play. It's simple as that. They came to play. And then in the post game, Anthony Edwards said that we are tired and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna give you that excuse because you know what you're getting into. Like you said, you're gonna guard Kyrie Irving, and that's fine. So, but you can't say, "Well, I am tired having to guard both ends on the court," and I think that's understandable. But you don't need to say that. We don't need to know that you're tired. We really don't need to know that you're tired. You need to just go out there and play your game of basketball, bro. Attack the lane, shoot, play defense. Like you're the one that's gonna have to guard Kyrie unless they switch it up. Because if you put say Mike Conley on Kyrie, he can't guard him. Now it will help with Anthony Edwards help him get rest on an offensive end because you could tell like he just didn't have it. So Chris Finch and the coaching staff got to figure out what they want to do. Is next game, are they going to put Ant on Kyrie again? Because we know what Kyrie going to do. You got to chase Kyrie around, and he's going to do whatever he wants. So do you want your best player and probably your best scorer having to do that on both ends of the court? I don't know. But I think a key thing is you can't let these guys get rebounds on you. Like Karl-Anthony Towns is basically 7 feet. Rudy Gobert is like 7'2". Like you can't let them out bully you. Like you gotta enforce your will. And the Mavericks, they already taken home court from y'all. So the best thing y'all can do is tie this series up, man. Because if it goes down 2-0, if the Mavericks go up 2-0, it's going to look a little nasty. But the Timberwolves, I think they'll do what they got to do. Naz Reid actually played good. I almost forgot about Naz. Naz Reid played good. Kyle Anderson actually played good too. He gave you 11 points in 17 minutes. Naz Reid gave you 15 points in 24 minutes. So they played good. I just think they got to enforce their will. Like, Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards aren't going to stop Kyrie and Luka. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to stop them guys. But you can slow them down and make them work for them points. You got to make them work, bro. Luka is a bigger guy than Jaden McDaniels, but I believe Jaden McDaniels can play good enough defense to where Luke Dort, and I know Luke Dort is a bigger dude than Jaden McDaniels, but I believe Jaden McDaniels can make Luka Doncic work for them points like Luke Dort did against Luka. I believe that. And I think the same with Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards, he's going to look at the film and see, I could have played better. If I play better, we probably win that game. So I think he's going to come back better on the offensive end, better on the defensive end. They're all going to come to play because that game was right there. It basically took like an offensive goaltend for them not to lose because after that, if Cat gets that putback, the game's tied. And honestly, we don't know. And everything changes. So we don't know what happens. So I just think the Timberwolves, I think they just got to play better on the defensive end. You got to rebound. And that's really it. On the Mavs end, I think you just got to shoot better from three. Kyrie and Luka are going to do their thing. And I do think you got to get more production from your role players to an extent. Like, I think PJ Washington is probably the third best scorer on the team. So I think he just gives you a little more. If Derrick Jones Jr. could give you one of them little outbreak games he had, 2 of those games against OKC, Mavericks definitely got a chance of taking game 2. So I'm not gonna go back on my pick. I still got Timberwolves in. I think I had Timberwolves in 7, and I'm just sticking with that. So, and I think the Timberwolves are gonna win game 2.